What is up, Taurus? Welcome to your general timeless reading. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So we're going to pull one oracle card from each deck and then get into your tarot reading. So let's begin. Let's see what's going on for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. In the hand, the universe is your partner. It's in reverse. It's strange because when I was picking out the cards for the earth signs, it felt very like spiritual kind of reads, but how they affect you in your 3D life. And you are the North Node, and you also have Uranus and Mars hanging out in your sign right now. And then we have Be Here Now, so it's in the energy of presence, being very present, and that's feminine energy, Empress energy, and you are the sign of the Empress in Tarot. So in the hand, the universe is your partner. In the hand to me is also like being one in the earth, being one with the collective, like I am one, you are one, we are one. I am grounded, you are grounded, we are grounded. I am safe, you are safe, we are safe. That's the affirmation sequence for unity consciousness and to have the ability to not only hold space for self, but for others. I like this a lot though, because this tells me that you're going to be coming back into you. So if you've been feeling like your energy has been really exerted, like all over the place, it's coming back into you and reconnecting with a higher power, the divine, or even your own physical body and your health. I feel a lot of work-related things with you. I feel as if maybe work has been taking up a lot of your time and your intention. And work doesn't have to be like work, like for money, like things that you associate with the word work. Like, oh, this relationship is work, right? Or really spending time on myself. That's hard. That's work. It's a mindset. So whatever you see as something that's been burdensome, you're about to find a new way to meet your needs and work through that moment. So let's see what's going on for Taurus. I heard Seven of Swords, contingencies. Okay, and then the Four of Pentacles. This is going to be a really big theme because Uranus is the sign of rebellion and awakenings, and with it in your sign, if at this point in time you are being challenged to address any beliefs or contracts, right, that you've agreed to by your family, instilling them in your mind, or society, or stereotypes, you might be realizing like, actually, I don't agree with that, right? I actually just had a similar reading for this for someone else, and I used the example, not to be like vulgar, but I used the example of sex, right? So if you're doing something taboo and society has said, ooh, that's gross, or you shouldn't do that, or you should do this, or you should do that, or that's not ladylike, right? Or, you know, only have sex in marriage, right? All these things that are beliefs that are instilled in us. You might be coming to a point in your life where you're challenging that. Like, maybe I don't want to be married. Maybe I don't want kids. Maybe I don't want to live with my partner. Maybe I want to be neighbors with them so we both have our own house, right? Things that are very unconventional, okay? Those beliefs, especially with Chiron and Aries right now, are going to be broken down. They're deeply rooted structures that society has imposed. And part of you might want to challenge them. And by challenging them, you're going to find what really resonates for you. Like, okay, yeah, actually, I agree with that one. Or actually, no, I don't. So let's see what's going on. What else we got for Taurus? Here comes in the work. Okay. Six of Swords in reverse. You're not getting where you want to get, and you're probably not going to until you break down why you're chasing it. Yeah, Nine of Cups in reverse and the Moon. Part of you thinks that what you're chasing is actually your fulfillment, your happiness. It's going to make you feel better. It's not though, because what's going to make you feel better is figuring out, like, are you chasing it and pursuing it because you want to, or because it's what is expected of you? And part of you feels obligated to, right? The Four of Pentacles is the card of obligation, of attachment, of holding on to things. Bottom of the deck is those burdens, that Ten of Wands energy, that, oh, this is weighing me down and I feel like I have to go to college because my parents want me to go to college, or I feel like I have to marry somebody in good financial standing because it's what's expected of me and I can't be with who I want to be because my family doesn't approve, right? You're going to start doing what you want to do. And you're going to live your life in a way that is stable and structured and comfortable for you. But at times that comfortable energy is going to be challenged because it's going to be challenging to challenge the beliefs that have been instilled with you, right? So if someone says something Or you go and do something and you really enjoy it, but your family's like, you should never do that. That's not ladylike, or that's not like a gentleman to do that, right? Or whatever the thing is. You might be, why do they think that? Is that true for me? Because I enjoy it and I want to go do those things. I don't want to go to law school. I want to be an artist. Oh, well, that's not practical. Says who, right? You're going to start challenging the beliefs that have been instilled with you at this time. On a very deep level, because we're constantly always doing that in order to evolve. But this is like a huge upheaval of it, and the whole collective is going to be going through it. And that's why it's necessary to be here now, because a lot of these thoughts, these beliefs, are based in the past, or based in something that was imprinted in you at a really young age, okay? And so in the hand, the universe is your partner. That's connecting with your soul. That's connecting with your authenticity, your true self, okay? Let's look at the Seven of Swords. I literally heard she. The Sun in reverse. Okay. The Sun in reverse. I'm not going to take this big old stack. I'll take the one on top. And then we have the Eight of Wands and the Star. Okay. The Star to me is very goddess energy. The Sun is divine masculine energy. It's also Leo energy, and we are in Leo season. So a lot of astrology coming up here in the read for you. You are a very potent sign in regards to astrology right now. Eight of Wands, Sagittarius energy, the Star, Aquarius. We have Saturn hanging out in Aquarius, and the Sun, like I said, Leo. So this is actually going to give you that second chance. The Star in reverse to me is either missed opportunities or second chances or a long time coming. So this feels like it does feel more so second chance to address these beliefs. So if you've been in a relationship before that triggered all these parts of you that are coming up, and now you're seeing like, oh my gosh, in this relationship the same thing is happening, it's because now your soul's actually ready to move forward with the Eight of Wands. You're ready to address the parts of you that keep you small. Small in the sense of not your true self, that keep you within the confines of what is expected, what society wants, what your family wants. And you're like, oh, F that. I'm going to just do what I want to do and be how I want to be. Right? Not in a disrespectful or rude way, in an authentic way. In a way that is loving, caring, compassionate, but also healthy boundaries. Like, even though that's okay, that's your opinion, but it doesn't mean that I need to accept it. And it doesn't mean we have to debate them either. We can just accept what is. We just have different preferences. It's okay. Let's look at the Four of Pentacles. I literally heard someone say, in my head, this is probably somebody in the collective, that's practical in theory, right? A lot of things are more practical in theory, but it's the art of practicing something to make them part of your reality. Seven of Swords in reverse and the Queen of Swords. Yeah, so you're starting to protect your energy now. You're starting to protect your truth and how you show up. I like that the feminine energy is really coming in right now. You are feminine energy in regards to that Empress energy that you hold. Very receptive. And with the Queen of Swords, she's quite literally holding the mask down at her side. And she's saying, I'm taking off that mask, right? Because it's kept this self-sabotaging behavior, this Seven of Swords. I'm not going to hold on to it anymore. And that's what was being held on to. You were holding on to these old parts of you that have to be let go of or have to be accepted, right? Just accept like, yeah, I like doing that. Or yeah, I like being with this kind of person. And yeah, I don't want to go to that school. Or I don't want to live this way, right? Maybe you don't want to shave your armpits. Whatever floats your boat. I don't care. Neither should you. Do what makes you happy, right? But just be healthy. Be honest with yourself. Like, is this healthy for me? Is this of my highest good? Or is it a part of me that just wants to rebel? And why does that part of me want to rebel? What's it really rooted in? Okay? Those are the big questions to ask as you go through this journey. Because is this your authentic self, or are you shifting into authenticity of the ego of like wanting to reject and hurt people and things in your life by rebelling against their own structures? Let's look at the Six of Swords. Five of Swords. So between the 5 and the 6 is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So like I said, be cautious of what you're challenging within yourself. Because we're all one. We really all are one. Like I see me and you, you'll see you and me, and vice versa. Nobody's better than the other. There's literally parts of everybody that you're going to have to accept because they are a part of you in some manner, in some form. So that's where this conflict comes in. Because you might have people challenging your beliefs, And you might be like, that's nonsense. Like, I could never believe that. When part of you is actually like, oh, dang it. Like, the only reason I'm reacting that way is because part of me does believe it and I don't want to accept that. Conflict, right? Arguments, debates, stupid bullshit. When really it just comes down to humbling and sitting with yourself and really trying to figure out what you actually believe and what your programmed response is to their outside belief. Interesting. Really interesting stuff going. Yeah, bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords in reverse. There it is. So some validation for us. I really like that. And Justice in reverse, which is the breaking of contracts. It's literally the card of divorce. It's going to court and saying, yeah, we have to throw this out. This belief isn't working anymore. Let's look at the Nine of Cups. I'm not going to take these because just the way I was shuffling, I know that's the only reason they came out. Nine of Cups for Taurus, please. So we have Temperance in reverse, the Four of Swords in reverse, and the Devil. It's attachment. The Devil represents attachment, codependency, the ego, fears, addiction, suppression, depression, all low frequency energies, things that the ego is keeping us attached to in order to keep us safe, but really it's used in excess. The Devil represents excess. And so it's going to actually hinder you, right? It's too much of a good thing, like protection from the ego, could be toxic, like the devil. Okay? So with the Nine of Cups in reverse, it's the need to find that balance. Temperance. Temperance is moderation. You don't want excess of protecting yourself. There's no need to be defensive or to rattle yourself with guilt and shame or embarrassment over something that you might like to do or pursue that your family or friends or society might say, no, that's not okay. More hand motions. Sorry, I'm Italian. With the Four of Swords there, it's time for you to really sit with yourself and say, okay, why does my ego want to have this knee-jerk reaction, right? Is that based in a programming? Is that based in a part of me that is struggling to accept what really makes me happy? Because this is you rejecting what actually makes you happy because you're staying attached to the things that are in excess and prevent you from really finding peace within. The Four of Swords is a card of solitude. Solitude will allow you to really understand what's going on internally. So let's look at what you're not seeing with the moon. This is what's hidden. It's also the unknown. The moon, the pathway to the moon represents the pathway of the unknown, of not knowing what will come of you or your life when you shift your beliefs because it's new territory. It's basically like being born again, because when you're born, you don't choose the language you speak. Your family speaks it, you take it on. You don't choose your name. You typically don't choose your religion. Your family imposes the beliefs of the family structure onto you. So now you're stepping into a new path by challenging all of those beliefs and saying, actually, this is where I want to go. What's that hold for me? So some fear, which is really just a part of your ego that is triggered to shame you when you're doing something outside of the comfort zone to keep you protected, is going to show up. Let's look at the moon. Well, hello. I'll take you. Seven of Cups. Okay. Okay, I kind of like that. I like that. This is the Fool, the Six of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so you go from like, oh my gosh, all this opportunity. This is great. Let me start planting my seeds. The universe is providing, right? Like having that very nice back and forth Taurus energy, Six of Pentacles, with the universe, that flow, Empress, right? Which is give and take. What I energetically put out into the world of love, peace, and like honoring myself and what it is that resonates with me is going to bring in the new beginning, the Fool. Okay? But then these things start coming in. They are going to show up with opportunity. I don't want to say challenge because it's just opportunity to address the deep-seated belief, right? And so that belief might be rooted in scarcity mindset, that Five of Pentacles, and in turn you might start overthinking things and like getting stuck at some points in your path, which it's not really that you're stuck. The universe is saying, hey, let's pause here, really think about this belief, let's work through this one, okay, let's go on to the next one. And you're just going to be walking this path of addressing belief after belief after belief, because what you're doing is you're shedding an old you that really isn't you. It's what you've been formed into. And you're like, oh shit, I gotta do this again? Especially if you've already been through a spiritual awakening. There's different kinds of awakenings. There's the awakening to spirit. There's an awakening to your authentic passion. But then there's the awakening to your authentic beliefs, okay? Because it's one after another. And that's why awakenings are constantly going to happen throughout our lifetime. It's the shedding of an old self over and over. And that's why you have multiple bodies, right? Energetic bodies, multiple layers, like the ethereal, mental, physical, spiritual, sexual, right? Trauma body, all of it. And that's where quantum healing comes in, because you go to each level. Let's look at the 10 of Wands, because each level is a different state of consciousness. And that's why you are ascending to a higher state of consciousness each time you go through an awakening. Because it's a new kind of awakening. Sorry. Like, I feel like some of this stuff is just not talked about. And it's kind of like, if you really sat and thought about it, it's kind of common sense. But at the same time, people would be like, Jordyn, that's not fucking common sense at all. And I think that's why I'm laughing so hard. Because, like, to me it is, but someone else would be like, you're fucking crazy. Whatever. Makes me happy. That's all that matters. Not in a selfish way, because I like my work. I like talking to people and like challenging their thoughts and stuff. It's a cool thing to do. 9 of Cups, the Chariot in reverse, and the 10 of Wands in reverse. I love this for you. I love this for you. It's gonna be a road that's not paved, so it's probably gonna be a little bumpy, but that's okay. That's okay, because with the 9 of Cups, you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it so much. You're gonna find some of your childlike nature again, but also with the Chariot there, you're gonna want to like go back to the old ways at time, or the old ways might come back up. So let's say like you're doing really good, and then one day, and I'll use a personal example, you're doing great, spirituality's awesome, and you're living in your truth, because spirituality is just like a diet. It's just a way of living. It's just a choice to live in that manner, okay? And then you have something happen and it triggers a teenager in you that you're still healing, right? Because you heal the inner child, then the teenager, and then the like 20-year-old you, and then the present you. And so it's layers, just like your consciousness has layers. You're going through each layer. And that might be where most of your burdens are, right? Because that's also when the chakras are getting to that space of being most developed. But yeah, I really enjoy this for you. This is awesome. Your ending overall energy is the Page of Pentacles, which represents learning how to rebuild things in a stable form. I love Pentacle energy because it is stable, long-term, committed energy. It's unshakable. It's unshakable. But with the Page of Swords underneath it, that tells me that you're still unsure of what foundation you're actually building, because you're challenging thought. Swords are thought, they're intellect, the way you perceive things, communication, right? And that's why 4 of Cups. You have the 4 of Cups, which is kind of, it's 4 of Cups in some decks does feel like a morning energy to me, like the 5 of Cups. But this 4 of Cups is more so like, let me sit with this. It's like, I'm not ready to mourn it yet, but do I believe it, right? It's trying to understand the attachment, the emotional attachment to what it is you believe. Really, really interesting read for you, Taurus. I love this. I wish you the best. If you want a personal reading, a Reiki quantum healing session, you want to be certified as a practitioner, go ahead, check out my website. I love you. Please like, share, subscribe. The thumbs up help the channel grow, so I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.